this is Sam, the Frugal Hugel gardener. This is part 2 to my prepping the ground and the beds, and also contouring the land so I could go ahead and prep and get my fruit trees in the spring. But I'm in the fall, and it's best to do it now. That way it has a few months to set, and then I can plant my fruit trees in the spring. So let me show you what I'm up to. Okay, so I went ahead and put in a lot of dirt. As you can see, it's up pretty high, and it's just not regular dirt. If you look, this is nice composted and sandy soil. That's actually topsoil from sod. I'm going ahead and I got really good composted chips. It's about 3 years old. I'm putting the piles of chips over it, and then I'm tilling it under, and I'm mixing the compost with the sand, with the natural soil, so it's up higher. And so this is the start. Right over here, you can see where it goes, and you can see where I'm headed down there. So once I put a bucket there and a bucket there and a whole bunch of buckets there, just like up over there, then I go ahead and I level with my bucket, and then I till it under and I mix it all up. Once I get the grade that I want, I'm going to build a nice decent hump. It's going to sit here throughout the winter into the spring. So in April or May, somewheres around there, I'm going to start planting my fruit trees. The fruit trees are going to be spaced out like 12 or 15 feet apart, depending on the fruit tree that I'm utilizing. So I'm still going to go ahead and dig my beds like I do for my banana plants, except these are going to be geared up for fruit trees. And so even though this whole row where I'm going to put them is all nice, good, rich, composted soil, where I could also plant other plants in between all of the fruit trees, I'm still going to dig down probably about 1.5 to 2.5 feet and make a nice big square bed to put the fruit tree. So the fruit trees are going to have a nice composted bed, nice and fertile for them to go ahead and start growing like my other ones. But also in between the fruit trees, I'm going to be planting stuff. And then eventually over here, all the way down the fence line and over to the other fruit trees that I started. And then everything in between over time is all going to be filled in. It's all going to be a really good, rich soil like that. And everything that I plant is going to be nice. So let me take you over to that one tree and show you what my fruit trees look like. And then I'm going to get back over here and finish what I'm doing. And I'll kind of show you what it looks like once I go ahead and take this 3-year-old age compost and put it down and till it and mix it in. Okay, so right over here is a loquat tree. You can see the height of it. I like keeping it about that height. This is probably going to get taller, but I like leaving it at that height because right now you have the blossoms and you got the fruit are going to be coming in now throughout the winter, and I want to be able to come over here and harvest it by hand without getting up on a ladder. So to do this, what I do is, you can see right down there on the bottom, you see how I V'd that out like a upside down umbrella, and then there's another row on top of that. Well, then there's another row in there, and then if you look, there is no center. I cut out the center because right from over there, the center that would go up really tall is no longer there. So these are just branches because I want to keep my fruit trees manageable so I could harvest. So all of these down here are going to be the same. There's no reason to grow a 20-foot tall fruit tree because you're not going to be able to get the fruit way up top. And those leaves and those branches and the fruit that's up there, the birds will get them, which is fine. But it's going to create shade down throughout here. So you'll have less fruit out here to harvest, more fruit up there where you can't, and plus you can't put a big net over it, which I'm going to go ahead and put a net over this and drape it down around my fencing over here, because as soon as those loquats get ripe, the birds come in and within a day or two it's all gone. So I consider this a manageable plant. And of course, each year I'll thin out the outside, I'll trim off the uppers. And what that does, it makes it so it's airflow, and it makes it to where you have fruit coming in all to where you can reach it. I have videos of me pruning them. You just got to search my channel. But basically, this is the way I like to do my fruit trees. Now, I could let this grow 20 feet tall, but I'm not going to do it because I want to enjoy the fruit that grows on it. Okay, so enough said. Let me get back to doing my work, and I'll turn on the camera along the way and show you how I do it. Okay, so I went ahead, and as you can see, I put down more compost. I got one more bucket right over here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go on that side with my bucket down low. I'm going to come this way and I'm going to run the tiller in the back. I'll show you how it's done. Okay, so you can see I went ahead and tilled it all the way over. And now, if I do this, all of that is mixed in with the sand. So over time, all this, we're in December, January, February, March, April, about 4 or 5 months from now, this is even going to be nicer. So let me show you what it looked like before I put this on. Even though it's in video number 1, this is part 2. Let me show you. Okay, so you can see it's up higher. I still got to level it off some. But as you recall, it was level with the ground like that. You remember? I tilled the grass in and it was flush with the ground. Like that, flush with the ground. And now it's up higher. And I'm ending it right there because right up over here, this is a little gully and this is where the water drains out into the culvert. So I keep that contoured. It goes back like this and it goes all the way up there. So any rain, like we get a flash flood, it's going to come down and it's going to go like this and it's going to go all the way out. And the reason why I know it's going to do that is because I put that gully in, probably, I don't know how many years ago, and it works. So I'm just making sure I keep it. And that's why the banana plants back there has got that space in between. So I'm going to make sure all this that I do, from here, the water drains down and over. And then from here, it drains over and down when I have all that planted. Okay, so over here you'll notice that it stops and then drops off. Well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to contour it down. And over here the same thing. I'm going to contour it down. Okay, so if you look up over there and all the way down on both sides, you can see how I sloped it. Okay, so that's how I want it. I want it gradually coming up. I want the top part and I want it gradually going down. From here over to there, that's probably about 10 feet right now. So when I put the fruit trees in the center, there's a nice contoured slope. It's just not going to be up, over, and down. So anyway, this is what this bed looks like. I just kind of wanted to show you an update. I still have a lot more work to do. I have to do that whole side because I'm continuing. Okay, so I got the banana plant at the end. Nice rack on it. There's the bed. And I got some silver striped bamboo at the end. And now we got the loquat tree. We have a Florida Prince peach tree. And as you can see, I'm contouring it up, and then I'm going to hug the fence, and this is all going to be fruit trees. And then all this going around is going to be fruit trees. And then eventually, just like this side, I'm going to go ahead and put fruit trees around this whole area. And this is just one section of my property where it's going to be a little orchard. I'm turning it into a food forest. Then I have that section over there, which is in video number 1. That's even a bigger section. And then my huge section is in the back. And I'm going to do the same thing with all of those sections. So I divided my whole property up into 1, 2, 3 sections. In the back, 1, 2, 3 sections. And then from here, 1, 2, 3 sections, just like that all the way around. So there's sort of a total of 9 different sections that I have to go ahead and improve upon. And I've been working on this for years. I got all my banana plants doing beautifully, but I have an abundance of bananas. It's great for YouTube videos, but I got 2 giant chest freezers that I fill up, and that gets me through the whole season until next year when they start doing it again. So now I have to work on all my fruit trees, like the one behind me. And I have 4 different varieties of loquats. I got the Florida Prince peach tree because it only requires 150 hours of chill time. And that's all, I just want trees, fruit trees that are 100 hours to 150 hours of chill time, or no chill time at all. But the loquat is no chill hours, basically. It does great in hot weather. It does great in cold weather. It's just a really nice tree. Even if it didn't give fruit, it stays evergreen all year long, so I love it as far as a shrub goes and as far as fruit goes. So now I got to determine what other types of fruit trees I want. And the reason why I'm doing section by section is because when I buy a variety of fruit tree, like I said, I got 4 of these. My latest one is a big gem. I'm going to put a bunch of those around because they're the size of my chicken eggs. Then once they get like this, then I air propagate, and then I take the cutting with roots on it, and then I plant it. And that's how I'll spread out my plants, so I could be frugal about it. I buy one, and then I turn that one into 10, depending on the variety and how much of those fruits I want. Because I'm going to go ahead and make stuff out of it to eat. And if you like something, you could go ahead and can it and do a bunch of different things with it, including freezing it. So, with that said, this is Sam, the Frugal Hugel Gardener. If you like my little preparation video, give me a like, give me a share, subscribe to my channel. Come on over to my Facebook page, come on over to my Facebook group. The links are in the description below. Stay tuned for part 3.